Hello, my fellow readers. Today I'm going to be talking about Sunbeams in the Sky. I could not remember if I've talked about this series before, so if I have, forgive me. I'm going to do more of like this as a series overview, though, because it did conclude with 3 volumes. I thought this would be longer when I read volume 1, but it's not. It concluded in 3 volumes. And yeah, so I'm going to recap the main story, and then I'll just kind of talk about my feelings for it. So, Volume 1, what happened? So in Volume 1, the back reads, Himari Akeno can't wait to start high school. Even though she's parting ways with her twin sister Mio, Himari's enthusiasm to start this new chapter of her life is palpable. That is, until a traumatic incident sends her home to hide in her room. Watching Himari's dreams shatter is more than Mio can bear, especially when her sister still longs for an ordinary student life. Determined to see her twin get back out into the world, Mio catches a cold and convinces her sister to fill in until she recovers. As long as the shy, introverted Himari can pull off impersonating the bubbly, energetic Mio, nothing could go wrong, right? So yeah, Volume 1, and I think that's why I was pulled into the series in general, but in Volume 1, we meet these 2 twin girls, and they're getting ready to start high school. If I'm not mistaken, Himari is invited to, I believe, like a date thing, and then it turns out that he wasn't interested in her. Or didn't realize that they were twins. He was really interested in Mio. And then this assault happens on Himari, and I think it was brought about by this guy that really wanted the sister. And it's upsetting, but you don't know the full scope of it, and I don't think you really ever know the full scope of it, but you do know that when she does end up rescued, and you know that she's very traumatized, understandably, by the event. So it was rough. Like, you immediately get like, oh, this is some serious thing. Jumping point, starting point, ignition point from a shoujo manga. Like, and it's done so weird in the fact that it's just kind of like, you see the ramifications of what happened, but I don't know, at the same time, it's just kind of like there and glossed over, and you're like, that was really serious. And you want to know why, and I don't know, it's just, it's one of those weird sticking points. The remainder, though, is kind of a traditional twin swap story. Mio is encouraging Himari to go in and be her as she is sick, and Himari agrees to be Mio. And when she gets to the school, once there, Himari as Mio starts meeting up with different students, one of whom is this very nice boy, we also see on the cover here, that she does feel drawn to, who does seem to always help and rescue her, who may have rescued her at a different time, hint, hint. And we also see the basketball player that Mio has a crush on, and how, I guess, Himari pretending to be Mio impacts their relationship. There's a lot of stories, and then there's let's see, I believe there's a friend, I'm trying to remember if she is Mio's friend, but she is another classmate that has a crush on, oh boy, what is his name? Okay, this is Sukiono. And there's another friend that has a crush on Sukiono. And so the relationship between her and Mio / Himari, but especially like Himari as Mio, is a little bit weird, because she can sense that there's a relationship kind of developing between them, and then there's like a whole jealousy. Anyway, it all gets resolved very quickly because it's only 3 volumes, so it's like, I don't know. I guess everything kind of wraps up pretty quickly. Like, you go through the typical, like, high school shoujo kind of things. There's, like, the baking goods. There's the cultural festival. Obviously, secrets get revealed. There's the girls like going to the sporting events, whatever. It's all very typical stuff, but of course, the main point of it is that the two girls are swapping. So whether it's their, she's going to swap in for the day for a test, or she just wants to experience this or that, and so they swap. It's just that kind of thing. And again, it wraps up very quickly because there's just 3. You're not going in for a long thing. So it's really just seeing how the storyline progresses in them figuring out that there's actually twins. and of course, like the twins' love interests and how that's actually going to play out, and them getting to know like who's who, and do the love interests like the twins and the proper, way. If that makes sense. Like, does Sugiono like Himari? Does Asuka like Mio? How does that impact the other overall friend group? And also, what are we going to do about Himari? Because now she's been out of school for a while, and how will she get back into high school, and how will she get back into high school, and where will she go, and all that jazz. And it's pretty much it. I mean, it's short, it's sweet. I don't know that I'm 100% like sold on it. Like, I loved a lot of the character designs. I liked a lot of the characters in general. I thought they had a good base structure. Like, I think they were good characters, but I think there was a lot that plot-wise it obviously couldn't really go beyond the 3 volumes without it turning into just like a generic other shoujo series that's like, hey, suddenly, oh, you guys are dating now, but here's rival 1, here's rival 2. You know how it goes. And I've talked about it before, that sometimes I get very frustrated with series that just drag on, and you're like, they're not going to break up. This doesn't make any sense. Like, let it go. So I'm glad it didn't do that. I'm glad it ended with the 3 volumes. They really just wanted to tell the story of Himari being traumatized and her recovery from that trauma, and learning to live her life again. It was that short and sweet. It was like her just experiencing and seeing and getting to a place where she felt okay again, and getting back out in the world again. That's it. I'm just right ahead. It is a quick recovery series, and that's it. And of course, for her, this is her recovery. It's not necessarily anybody who would undergo a trauma, how they're magically going to be solved. I mean, let's face it, it's not the real world. And also, how many stories, do people have a twin that they can pose as in order to recover? Like, that, it's a bit over the top. But at the same time, it is kind of sweet that the sister cared enough. It was a nice way for her to get over her trauma. And in a way, even though she didn't have to wear a literal mask, the fact that she did get to kind of hide behind her sister's identity did help her with getting over the trauma. So, I don't know. If you're looking for just a kind of cute twin switch story, but at the same time having like a really traumatic impetus, you can try Sunbeams in the Sky. There was another series. I started at about the same time as this, and I'm like, which one was it? Oh, it's gone. But if I haven't reviewed that one yet, I'm sure I'll get back to it eventually. Yeah, there's just a couple of new ones that I discovered like right around the same time as one another that I need to finish, and then I would love to also talk about them. And one of them I know was No Longer Heroine, which was so fun. I only read the first volume of that, and I loved it, and I want to get more, but I have not yet. But this one, it was quick and fun. I appreciate that it was quick. I'm under no obligation to finish like a 40-volume drag out twin story. I'm glad. If you're looking for something, again, quick, you can try this one. It is shoujo. You're going to get a lot of the shoujo tropes, but I did think like the start of it was different, and it intrigued me enough to continue the story. And that's it for this video. Until next time, bye.